Hey, welcome to the first of our Schmoedown Reactors Summit top 10 lists of the year. The first one is matches. We've got a smaller panel of this because everyone was going for everyone else. Not a lot of people wanted to do this one for some reason. But some people came up. We've got JTH here. JTH, how's it going?
Going pretty good. Obviously, coming back from a spectacular this year was a lot of fun, and got some authentic merchandise. I don't know if you can see, but if you look real close, I have got Jeff Snyder's. Remember the Titans shirt that he wore at Above the Line Patriots 2. Actual authentic shirt that I stole from his garage. So wasn't sure if you would be able to see it or not, because fun fact, I actually don't exist in high definition. So but really looking forward to this. Obviously, being a reactor, pretty much saw every match. Well, did see every single match. So I think I got a pretty good list. Don't know where it's going to rack up to the other fine gentlemen here, but hoping to have a good time tonight.
Also here we've got Take 3's own Doug. Doug, how's it going?
Oh, Malcolm, it's going. It's it's after Christmas, so it's probably going just about the same. So no, I'm excited for this. I don't know why nobody wanted to be a part of the matches one. I think this is probably the one that most people talk about, besides maybe like player of the year and stuff, but like most important matches.
Yeah, I mean, I think, because I know, like, talking to some people, I know some people said that they didn't want to be a part of matches because it's really hard to narrow it down to 10, which I agree a little bit on that. But
it's because I was on here. Don't kid yourself.
Never, JTH, never.
But yeah, how this is going to work, it's pretty much going to be top 10 styles. Okay, go around and each person is going to give their 10 through to 7. And if it's higher on someone's list, they're going to yell out challenge, and then we move it to later in discussion when it gets to the highest that match that they've gotten. There's surprisingly there isn't a lot of crossover in this, but I'm going to start off with JDH. JDH, give us your 10 through to 7.
All right, so my number 10 was a match that happened pretty shortly after Free For All this year. It was the triple threat match to determine the number one contender for Dan Murrell's singles title. Ethan Irwin versus William Bibiani versus John Roca. Nothing? All right. My number 9 is the Star Wars title match from Chicago Live this year. Alex Damon versus Joseph Scrimshaw. Nothing again. Wow, I thought this list was good. And my number 8 is a first-round match in the Ultimate Schmoedown. William Bibiani versus Chance Ellison. Nothing? Not a damn thing? You all just want JTH to talk. Fine by me. All right, so number 10, Irwin Bibiani Roca. This match obviously had a lot of build to it. Irwin was just coming off being defeated by Dan at the Brooklyn Live show. It was his first match back. Obviously, there was a lot of momentum for him. Bibiani, of course, went on that epic marathon run at the Free For All this year, and he was getting a lot of momentum. And John Roca, of course, was trying to get back to the top for the title match. And it was just a well-played match by everybody. I believe it was 9-8-7 after the first round. Everybody was on the top of their game. And William Bibiani ultimately got the job done, carried off his momentum from the Free For All, and went on to challenge Dan Murrell for the title later that month. Obviously, didn't go the way he was hoping for, but really did like this match. It really was one of the best played games that I think all of them played this year. It's just unfortunate that only one of them was able to win. So, number 9, Damon Scrimshaw. It's Alex Damon. I don't think he got a thing wrong in this match. What else is new? It's Alex Damon. Joseph Scrimshaw. He put up a hell of a fight, considering the fact that he had a match, I believe, the day before at the Schmoedown or the Star Wars Spectacular. So you knew he was maybe coming in a little bit, burnt out from having to answer a crap ton of Star Wars questions. But he came in there. He gave it everything he had. Unfortunately, it's just when you're having to fight a juggernaut like Alex Damon, it's no small feat to overcome. He gave it his all. Unfortunately, Damon was just a little bit too much, and Damon retained the title there. And Bibiani Chance Ellison at number 8. Unfortunately, this is one of the matches that was supposed to be at the Phoenix live show that unfortunately did not happen, which is unfortunate because this was a real treat of a match. Bibiani, Ellison at the top of their game. What else is new? That's also one of Bibiani's most underrated entrances this year. I think with the Love Actually thing, where he was did all the Star Wars puns and all that, all the great stuff. And Bibiani again had another great match, real great showing. One of the main reasons why a lot of people think he could be Player of the Year this year. Just an unbelievable back and forth match with Chance. It's unfortunate that Chance always gets stuck with all these great opponents in the first round of these Ultimate Schmoedowns. So yeah, Chance gave him a hell of a match. Unfortunately, it was Bibiani's time. He went all the way to the finals this year at the Spectacular, where unfortunately he was defeated. But you can't deny that this match was absolutely amazing.
All right. Doug, give us your 10, 9, and 8.
Yeah, my 10. I think a lot of these are like recent, just because I was impressed by all of them. My 10 is Time Machine versus Looney Bin. If you don't have this in your top 10 matches, or at least you're upset, I don't know what you're watching. This was supposed to be Janine and Ethan's year. They were supposed to be this dominated force that comes in, and then we meet the Looney Bin, and we meet the marvelous Tom, who up until I think it was last match didn't miss a question. This was an incredible match. I'm sorry, I was supposed to go and name them all first. My 9 is Brandon Meyer, Stacey Howard. I put this on my greatest match because of things that happened during this match. It was great. Number 8, Alex Damon versus Laura Kelly.
Challenge.
All right, cool. I will talk about Brandon Meyer and Stacey Howard real quick. This is what happens when the hype dies from you quick. Stacey came in breaking brackets. She thought she was going to do the same thing to the kid. The kid dominated this game. This is the match that when you're looking at the kid now, what he can do, this is the match you go to, because the fact is that you see what he has become from the beginning of the season to now. He is a dominating player. He's someone that now understands the balance of the game. Yeah, he still has his rookie issues with the match that comes after that, but he didn't give up in this match. This was a match where he forced somebody to give up. I know that's probably not high on everybody's list as, something that's really a great match, but for me, when it's almost like a UFC match. When you make someone knock out, just automatically give out, it's not the same as having them tap out. This was a tap out match. He proved his knowledge, and she kind of just crumbled and was like, "Oh, I'm done." Stacey's a great player, but when you have somebody that does that to you, it kind of like throws off your whole game. And then I can't talk about my 8 yet.
All right, so my number 10 is Who's the Boss versus the Family. My number 9 is Shazam versus the Odd Couple. And my number 8 is Laura Kelly versus Andrew DiMolante.
Nice.
But yeah, my number for Who's the Boss versus the Family. This was a great match. It was kind of the culmination of the Bateman versus Guy feud, and this is one that I really enjoyed. And just see sort of the family sort of move on after this, but this was a great game played by Owen. I think they both scored really high, but yeah, I really should have rewatched some of these matches, but I didn't. But Shazam versus the Odd Couple, this was just a fun match. I can't remember which entrance Shazam did for this one. I think it might have been the Home Alone one, but
Yes.
But
yeah.
Actually,
No, was this the commentary?
This is the announcer's
Commentary.
intro.
The commentary intro for this was fun. It's just one of those ones which I got really enjoyed just seeing Bibbs and Brendan just on the desk. We need more of them on the desk. Christian put them on the desk together next season. But although I'm pretty sure he said in a live video that we won't see active competitors on the desk. So, but yeah, and then Laura Kelly versus Andrew DeMolanta. This was a great match, and I didn't think I would actually have any Star Wars matches on here, just because they don't happen a lot, and quite often you don't get a lot of competitive ones. Usually, it's just Alex Damon beating down his opponents with a switch, and just But Laura Kelly and Andrew DeMolanta showed that these two belong in the Star Wars division, because this was a very close match. And if any of the managers do not pick up a Star Wars person in the draft, even though they don't play a lot, they're still going to be helpful in there, because especially with these two, because these two are great, and they're bound to quite often end up a number of contenders matches and put good matches up. So, yeah. So JDH, give us just 7, 6, and 5.
All right, my number 7 is the what's known as the Shirewolves farewell match. It's Shirewolves corruption for the team titles at
Challenge.
Figured that was coming. Okay, so I don't have to weep and cry over that one.
You will later.
Yeah, I guess so. My number 6 might also be challenged. It's Paulo Yama versus Chance Ellison. No? Wow. A little surprise there. And my number 5 is another match from the Team Ultimate Schmoedown. It's Crimson Fury versus the Loose Cannons. All right. So yeah, 7. So yeah, I'm doing Paul and Chance. Yeah, so I actually had this high on my list for favorite matches of this year. Obviously, we all know the backstory between Chance and Paul. I think a lot of us consider them friends of ours in this community, and to actually see that both of them had made it to the big time, and not only that, but playing one another with high stakes involved. I think the winner was going to be in a number 1 contender match at the Collision that year. And they both brought it, both back and forth. It was a perfect round. It was 9-7 after the first round, and it just back and forth, all out. And I think they both swept their second round, and then it came down to round 3. Paul hit all 3 of his questions, and it came down to Chance. He just couldn't pull his 5-pointer, and Paul Yama went on to win. Got the 1-up on corruption. Kind of the beginning, kind of one of those early teases of the corruption dungeon feud that was start. I actually think this was the first match when those two factions actually faced each other, since it was before the Collision. So yeah, it really got the corruption dungeon feud kicking in high gear, and really loved this match a lot. Then my number 5, Crimson Fury Loose Cannons, talking about dungeon versus corruption, yet another encounter. This time had a little bit more stakes in the Ultimate Schmoedown this year. Obviously, there was a lot of talk in this match with Crimson Fury. A lot of people call them like the second best team in corruption. Obviously, the Loose Cannons made some shots in there. Obviously, with Paul Yama being the reigning singles champion at the time, he took some shots at him. And Eric Zipper was actually no slouch in here too. And they both these teams had a great match with each other. It was unfortunate that one of them had to get knocked out in round 1, because I think both these teams could have went a long way. But yeah, I think a lot of people probably considered this an upset, considering the team that had the singles champ got knocked out in round 1. But ultimately, I think it was a well-deserved win by Crimson Fury. Tim the Tank Franco came back guns blazing this year, especially coming off a 2-year hiatus. To see him kick ass the way he did this year was really really fun to see. And I hope he comes back this next season in singles competition, because I really want to see how he fares going forward. But another great match in round one of the Team Ultimate Schmoedown. Pretty much, other than that first debacle that happened with the Only Stupid Answers, pretty much the entire first round was a bunch of great matches that happened, and this match was no exception.
Doug, what is your 7, 6, and 5?
This match, I'm willing to bet, is on no one's list, but it is personally one of my favorite matches of the year. And that would be the family versus the Wildberries. In the team tournament, my 6 is Shire Wolves versus Corruption. I'm guessing that's a challenge.
Challenge still, yeah.
All right. And then my number 5 is Merle versus Oyama. Challenge? No? Okay. Cool. I'll go to the family versus Wildberries first. This match is literally fun. While during the team tournament, it's understandably it's a team tournament. You got to take it seriously, but this match was literally just fun to watch. I love a Wildberries guy. A Wildberries guy is literally the best and most entertaining to watch. Makuga, their banter back and forth during the match made this match just impressive. It was a TKO, so it wasn't anything like out of the ordinary for the family, but it's just, for me, I guess it held the entertainment value of being a very entertaining match for more than just the trivia for me. I mean, I think it was a well-rounded, entertaining match, even though it ended in a TKO. I put it on my list.
Yeah, for the record, I didn't put it on my list because if you remember, Makuga shit on my Patreon question.
That's true. I do remember that. Sorry. Sorry it's on the list. But besides that one downfall, Guy just in this match looked like he was just having fun. And it wasn't the character of Guy that we got. It was the, kind of who Andrew Guy is on that kind of, it was more personal, and it just showed who he really was, and it showed him having a good time. I guess my 5 match is Merle versus Oyama. This match was incredible. To see the champ, one of the greatest of all time, take on this rookie, and this rookie just brought something that he didn't think was going to happen. He was behind in the match, and then he pulls it out. Like, this was just something that I was stunned, even more so than Don't Tell Peter stunned. Because it was like, that's Merle. There's like Merle when he gets the belt. It's usually Merle holding on to the belt for 7 or 8 matches, and then he loses it because he's just tired and ready to retire. But no, I thought this match was incredible. It was really great to watch during that whole thing. Like I said, I think this was my most shocked match during that whole event. I know the don't tell Peter thing hits people a lot, but I'm like, that was kind of expected. It was who was going to make the first mistake, and it just Smets made the first mistake. But yeah, like this one for me was a shock value.
All right. Get on to me. So I find where I put. My number 7 is Shazam versus the Founding Fathers at Spectacular. My number 6 is Laura Kelly versus Alex Damon from Spectacular, which I think was a challenge from earlier.
Yeah, that was my number 8.
I think we get to talk about it then. And my number 5 is Kalinowski versus Smets from Collision.
Ding.
Challenge.
I make my own words.
Ding, ding.
But yeah, Shazam versus Founding Fathers. This was a great match. While like watching it on live stream took away from it a little bit, but the fact that it just showed why Shazam is there, why Founding Fathers are the champs. This just they kept on getting questions why, and this just went there. And I mean, Bibs with the center entrance and Naughty and Nice. This was just entertaining. But yeah, but I'm going to get to number 6, Laura Kelly versus Alex Damon. This was once again, it was also a really great match, and I think Laura stumbled on a couple questions, but I think Alex was pretty much perfect, and Alex is going to be one of those people who's probably going to retire with the Star Wars Championship permanently chained to his beard. No one's going to be able to take it away from him easily, and the fact that I believe Christian Hemsworth said that he is going to be in a geekdom next season. So if he's this good in Star Wars, I'd hate to see what it can do with the other categories in a geekdom. Doug, you also had this. What do you think about this match?
They're both machines. I said it during our reaction. Who knows this stuff? It was deep. She missed one question, and that's what happened. She missed her bonus question. It wasn't like a question during the second round or third round. She missed her bonus question, and that's what lost her the match. That's insane. That this match tops my my Star Wars matches. This finally tops Natsock versus Whitworth. This match was incredible. One question separated from her from being the champion. I think next year Alex has got to watch out because she's coming back with a vengeance. Andrew Demolada's coming back with a vengeance. I think they need to expand it to more than 4 matches a year because you have people that are coming in from the Los Angeles area that are going to be a part of Star Wars too. This is going to be intense. I can't wait to see him in Inner Geekdom because it'll be great. But Star Wars is going to be crazy next year.
And I'm pretty in with Ken coming back as well into the competing as well. But JDH, what is your number 4?
All right, my number 4 was is a little bit more recent of a match. It was the Inner Geekdom #1 contender match between Smets and Chandru. Nothing? Wow. Yeah, so obviously Kevin Smets was on a roll. He was on his comeback revenge tour from Don't Tell Peter. It was just unbelievable to see that ride and that road that he went on. And then here comes Chandru, just the everyday guy who's on Facebook every day, commenting and having a great fun and all that. And a lot of people were wondering how he was going to fare against this, unstoppable force that was Kevin Smets. And he did a pretty damn good job. He forced Kevin to answer his 5-pointer, a question that Kevin himself said he was not certain about when he first heard it. And Chandru, he made a couple mistakes in round 2, which ended up being his demise, which is unfortunate because Chandru, I think you put him up against any other player that's not named Kevin Smets right now. I think Chandru could probably take anybody else in this division right now. It was just, you're playing against Kevin. He's on a mission to get the title. It was just wrong place, wrong time. So, incredible match. It's unfortunate that Chandru couldn't quite get the job done here, but I think Chandru's going to come back guns blazing this year.
Doug, what is your number 4?
My number 4 is, again, another one that is highly entertaining when you watch it. And it's one that was down in Houston. It was Bateman versus Guy. This match, anybody else? Anybody? No? What's that face for? This match though, this match had a double spinner's choice in the same person. Granted, digital wheel or not, digital wheel for heel. But that was incredible to watch. then you get the aftermath with Guy and Bateman, and you get the chair. That was more intense than the spear through a table, more intense than the slap. I think the chair. I think Guy still feels the aching of the chair. But no, I think this was incredible match. Just everything that was surrounding it. The civil war of it all. The you know, trivia is great. I love trivia. There's matches in my top 3 that are really great for trivia. But when it comes down to it, we also watch this because of the entertainment value, because of the storylines and everything like that. And I think this is one of the ones when you see a match, this one I think had the most influence by the storyline. How intense it was and how well it was played off by both of them. This was an incredible match, just for an entertainment value alone.
But yeah, my number 4 was Founding Fathers versus Corruption. Once again, this is another live match, and this one was great because both of the Founding Fathers went double perfect, and Guy, Kalinowski and Chance just was put on the back foot for most of this match, and just to see Roker get a belt with Dan, and just the emotion at the end, and it was just great to see, and but yeah, this was just a really great match. JTH, what is your 3?
I think this was already brought up earlier. It's Kalinowski, Kevin Smets at Collision, their number 1 contender match. So what else can be said about this match that wasn't said by everybody else in the community? This match had a lot of build to it, a lot of promos, a lot of trash talk, and all that good stuff. And then the match happened. It absolutely delivered in every extent of what you expect an epic feud to come down to. And it just that one flub in that final round. It's a shame that this match wasn't a 5-rounder, because it would have been cool to see what these two guys could have done, because this is when they were both at the top of their game. They both had a goal in mind. So it would have been cool to see if this was a 5-rounder. But Kalinowski wins the match, is full of emotion. Kind of one of the first times he broke kayfabe this year. He would do that quite a lot as this season progressed. But Kalinowski got the job done. He went to go to Comic-Con. The only downside of this is the fact that Smets ended up playing at Comic-Con Live too, so it dimmed the stakes a little bit, because it was like winner goes to Comic-Con, and yet they both ended up going anyway. So that kind of hurt it a little bit. But it was just a small nitpick on that. But the match itself is great, so there's not really much else you can complain about it.
Yeah, I had this just a little bit lower for me. I mean, this will pretty much say basically the same reason, but this was just a fun match. Just to see sort of Smets and Kalinowski, because this was been building sort of throughout the season, and because when they actually ended up meeting at the free for all, I legit thought that one of them was going to end up with a black eye, because they were just going to punch each other on the free for all stage, but it didn't happen. But just see them go head to head for what would have ended up being the first of their many matches this year was just entertaining, and Mike just breaking down at the end, because I mean, you just know how much that belt means to him. But Doug, what is your number 3?
My number 3 is Mike versus Rachel at the Throwdown.
Challenge.
Ding.
All right, cool.
My number 3 is Shy Wolves versus Critically Acclaimed. But yeah, this match was fun, and it was a very early on match, but this one was entertaining, and I'm pretty sure that they broke records in this one that got broken again later on. But ultimately, this was a fun match, and this would have been the last time we see critically acclaimed play as a team. And well, that was sad, but then again, they had to break up because otherwise we would never have gotten Shazam. So they broke up to make an even more amazing thing happen. But
you mean the critically acclaimed team named Shazam?
Ooh, shush your mouth. Shush your mouth. Leave my team alone.
But yeah, this match was just fun. And essentially, this was a battle of teams which have been known to do really great entrances over the years, because Shirals always deliver with entrances. I can't remember what this one was. I think it might have been the Thelma and Louise one, but
yes.
Yeah. But I mean, Shirals always deliver when it comes to entrances. Critically acclaimed sometimes deliver with entrances, sometimes they do something normal, so but they always entertain. But yeah. So JDH, what is your number 2?
It's Ethan Irwin, Dan Murrell 2 at Brooklyn Live. Nobody? Really? So yeah, Brooklyn Live kicked off this year. Maybe that's why no one picked it, because it was over almost a year ago. So, but this match was everything that you wanted. Ethan Irwin played a great game. He missed, I think, 3 questions in the entire match. Dan Murrell pitched a 100% accurate game. I can't say perfect game because then I will get torches and pitchforks as I run away. But this is what put Dan back on the map. Just classic, vintage Dan Murrell. He just goes out there, runs the table with everything, doesn't miss a question. It's like, did you expect anything less? When the chips are down, the stakes are high, live event, Dan Murrell's going to show up, and he did in epic fashion and won the belt back. It was just a phenomenal match. And Ethan Irwin, unfortunately, was not able to defend the title, but that was kind of the trend with the singles title at the time. So it was almost a foregone conclusion what was going to happen, though.
Because this has gone faster than what I thought it was going to be, Doug, why did you not have this match?
I didn't have this match because a lot of my list is entertainment value. What I found super entertaining throughout the season. There's high scoring matches in my list. There's not a perfect game. Or not a 100% accurate. I don't want to get flayed with torches either. Accurate game on my list, but to me, these matches are great. But then they, after what's the rewatchability of this match? What happens. I don't get excited when somebody goes perfect. I like a struggle, if that makes sense. Dan Murrell is still the GOAT. He will always be the GOAT, just because of what he does. But for me, I couldn't put this on my thing just because I think it was entertaining at the time, but when you rewatch it, you kind of know beat for beat what's happening. And while beat for beat what's happened in other matches for me had a little bit more entertainment value to them throughout the matches.
You criticize this match because of predictability, yet you put a Wild Berries match on your list where there's going to be drinking and bad answers.
No. I put
Objection!
I put the Wild Berries match on my list because that is an entertaining match. Like, go rewatch that match and tell me a smile doesn't come on your face when you see guy just broing out with Josh McCouga. It is great because it's not just a wild.
And then Josh shit on my question.
All right, just skip over that part, JT. Just skip over that
You
part.
can't, because then he said my name again as he tried to bash me a second time.
But anyway, I didn't put this on my list. Partly because one, I didn't want my list to be dominated by live events, which it kind of still ended up being anyway. But I mean, and also, I mean, pretty much for the same as Doug. This was entertaining to watch, but this is actually one I did recently rewatch just because I couldn't remember it a lot. And it's just one that I didn't have the same amount of excitement just rewatching this. It's not it's not that it's a bad match. It's just that there was a really lot of better matches entertainment wise this season. So it's one of those ones when you've got so many matches and so many good matches in a season, it's going to be hard to pick. So, but Doug, what is your number 2?
My number 2 is a recent match. Not as recent as my number 1's going to be, but my number 2 is a recent match, and that's Shazam versus the Looney Bin. This was 2 forces coming together. Is that a yikes or a challenge? Okay, cool. I saw you take a breath. I was like, really, Malcolm? No, if anybody knows, I'm a huge Shazam fan. Like, what? Say something. Say something, Malcolm. Say something.
You don't say.
You'll say. No, but I've really. This was a match that literally either two teams could have won if somebody messed up, and it just so happened to be the Looney Bin messed up. This should have been the tournament finals. This should have been the tournament finals because this to me was more entertaining than Shazam versus the Family, and I have a feeling I will go back and rewatch this match because I think it's probably one of the most entertaining matches due to Shazam trying to become friends with the Looney Bin. I want that as a reality TV show. Please give me it now on the SEN network. Shazam and Friends.
Yeah, I mean, this one is one that I didn't put on because even though I love this match and this is the one where Shazam broke the points record, I believe. But it's once again, this is just a case of there's been so many great teams matches, judging by a list as they do that, because we've seen more teams matches and singles matches on all of our lists, but it just shows the quality of the teams this year. But this is just one that just missed out on mine. But JDH, why did you not have Shazam versus the Looney Bin?
Just simply because it's so recent, haven't seen it enough times, it hasn't really sank in yet. Maybe if it was more during the middle of the year, if I've seen it a couple more times, it probably would. Now that I think about it, I actually don't think this was the match. I think Shazam did that during the Odd Couple. I think that was the match they hit the
yeah, I think
because that was when Jeff said, "Yeah, you got to set the points record in order to beat us." So, unless I think so.
Actually, no, I think you're right. Yeah.
Okay. Let's just compromise and say JTH is always free.
Yes, we'll say that.
Yeah, just a little bit too recent for my taste. Maybe with a couple more rewatches, it'll sink in a little bit more. But yeah.
But anyway, my number 2 is a challenge from earlier, but that's Shy Rules versus Corruption from the Throwdown. This match was a really great match. This pretty much stayed in my top 2 for most of the year, like ever since it came on. Because this is one I never thought I'd ever see happen. I never thought Shy Rules would end up retiring after a year or so of being together. But so this one had all the emotional stakes. And this was just so great. Corruption came out and showed up and just took the title away. I would have loved to see Shire Wolves retire on top, but it just happened to not be their day, because I think it's as the saying always goes, whichever's the first team to miss a question is bound to just end up thrown off the game. And also, I mean, you can call me biased if you want, but that tribute at the end, which I got to be a part of, was just beautiful, and it's part of the reason why I had it so high. But JDH, you also had this. What do you think of Shire Wolves versus Corruption?
Yeah, I mean, I can attest with what you said with the tribute video. Obviously, Doug, you took part in that tribute video too, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
So, yeah, having the insight of what was going to happen, we all kind of got a little bit more invested in that match before it happened. And yeah, unfortunately, didn't quite have the ending I was hoping for. I was hoping for the storybook ending where the champs got to ride off into the sunset, but unfortunately, that's not how it always goes. But it was a big win for Corruption. Obviously, Chance winning a belt. I think at the time became the youngest champion in Schmoedown, so that was a big deal. And then, of course, Mike, with the opportunity to now actually he didn't have both belts at that time, right? I think that was the first belt he won.
All right, so he did have the belt, but that match wasn't aired yet. I think that's how that works.
Well, he won the Inner Geekdom belt at San Diego.
Yeah.
And I think the throwdown happened before that.
Okay. So, yeah, so that was actually, I'm not even sure. I got to go back and rewatch the whole season again. So, yeah, emotional stakes. It was a great match. For some, it was the ending that many people wanted. For others, it wasn't. But again, that's what made this match so great. A lot of people were going both ways. Really kept the excitement and entertainment value of this match, and just everything that happened afterwards. It just makes this match, wonderful to see.
And Doug, what do you have to say about Shires versus Corruption?
Yeah, no, this match, this was my team when they formed. Like, I was all in, just like how I'm all in with Shazam. This was my go-to team. This was the team that I rooted for no matter what. Regardless of how good they were just a tremendous force in this league. Like they started Clark Wolf along with Gray Drake was the first kind of females that were in season 3 that were on the forefront of trying to be, on the forefront of everything. And then Rachel Cushing is just a monster. To see their last matches play out like this, regardless of the outcome, it was a hard fought fight like they always do. This match had so much meaning to it besides just being a retirement match. The video alone, all the reactors that got to be a part of that, it's still to this day, it's like, wow, we don't get to see the Shire Wolves in the movie Trivia Schmoedown anymore. We'll get to see them on the desk and see them do stuff like that, but it's like we don't get to see them compete anymore. While yes, I understand the retirement and it gets hard, it weighs on people, but it's still a sore subject, because while I love Shazam, but it's like that last match for them, I would have loved to see the storybook ending, but again, not just like real life. None of us get a storybook ending. It happens, but it still was great to see them go out on top. Regardless of the win or not, they went out on top. They went out like champs.
But now we go on to number ones. JTH, what is your number one? Oh, actually, before we do that, do you have any honorable mentions for matches?
Not off the top of my head. I remember I did at some point, but I guess one match that Pass. Go to someone else first.
Why don't we do the honorable mentions at the end, just in case somebody else's match is on that list?
Good point. Although there's a good chance that it is not because, but yeah, we'll find out.
You have the
but,
list in front of you, but I just don't want that honorable mention to be named because I don't think anybody's expecting my number one.
Yeah, but JTH, what is your number one?
I think it's been mentioned before. Mine is Cushing Kalinowski, the Intergeekdom title match at the Throwdown. It was pretty much everything that you would want in a title match. It had the build. It was great match. The quality from start to finish was amazing. Had everything that you would possibly want in a match. You had Kalinowski make the epic comeback from being 8 down to be able to tie it up to go to sudden death, and you had just Ninka and Nico and just everything that transpired. When a lot of people in the chat that I remember not being sure who had won the match or what the hell was going on, it just made absolute insanity, and just seeing Rachel become a double champion was incredible to see. Rachel being my favorite player at the time, that was phenomenal to see and a joy to react to. Still one of my favorite moments ever in Schmoedown, period. It was just everything that I possibly could have wanted in a Schmoedown match, and it was a joy that got to kick off the Schmoedown throwdowns that we knew, because you just set the tone for great matches for what you were going to get this year, and it absolutely delivered.
But yeah, this was also my number one. And
okay.
and yeah, this is pretty much everything that you could have wanted, and especially with the fact that this match was great, and Rachel finally getting the belt. The one thing she always wanted was just amazing, and I personally think if she hadn't won the belt, she may not have retired as quickly as she did. I think it was I think for her to retire after winning both the belt and having the team's belt was thinking. Like, it wasn't a secret that she always wanted the Geekdom belt at all, but yeah, this match was just great, and there's not much more I can say that JDH hasn't already said. But Doug, you also had this on your list.
Yeah, I mean, you guys pretty much said it all. This match was incredible. It's in my top 3 for a reason. This match, not only just trivia-wise, this match, you have what became one of the greatest rivalries in Schmoedown history to continue, and this season it just let it all out. Like, this was the season of Mike. The first half was the season of Mike and Rachel. It really was. This was the storylines that people were more invested in. This was why we love this show. It gives you pretty much everything else. And my number one is why you continue to love the show. So since you both had that number one, my number one is the most recent match on this list. I think it's the most recent match on this list. Comes from the Spectacular 4. It ended in a knockout, and that would be Mike versus Smets. This is the end of the Civil War that you've been waiting for, and it didn't just happen with a push to the edge. This was I knocked you out without a shadow of a doubt. In the speed round, I knocked you out without a shadow of doubt. This was, for all the trash talk that happened in between Smets and Kalinowski, don't tell Peter. This was his haymaker. This was, I'm going to show you what I can do. This is why Kevin Smets has become one of my favorite players, is because he's literally this a movable force. And when he sets his mind to something, he does it. You're looking at me like I twisted my head. But this is the match. If you saw our reactions, I literally say, oh my God, he just knocked him out. And I jump out of my chair. That's the reaction that you want when you watch one of your favorite matches. This was my favorite match of the entire season. People say that knockouts aren't entertaining. That was entertaining. That I didn't see coming. It was Mike Kalinowski, this force that is literally an encyclopedia at times because he knows so much about the Inner Geekdom world, and Smet showed him how much he knew more. And it was incredible to watch. I've watched the match now 3 times after because I wanted to see the entire event unfold again, and I still get as giddy as I got first watching it on the live stream, and I'm just like, it still doesn't compute, and it's literally one of my favorite matches probably of all time.
But JDH, what was your feelings on Mike versus Kevin?
I must feel like I'm an idiot or something, because I was the one that attended Spectacular, and yet I was the only one of us that didn't have any match from the Spectacular on my list. So apparently I don't feel like a real fan anymore. So thanks for making me feel like a pile of dung, guys.
Not at all.
It's just, I'm trying. A favorite match of the year I can get, but last I checked, if I'm looking at it was best matches of 2019. So I get if someone really enjoys the match, they can put it on a favorites list. But it just like I saw that come up, and I saw the dialogue way down there, and I'm like, huh? Like what? I mean, it's fun for what it is. I mean, being there, hearing Kalinowski talk for 5 minutes before the match started, really made me want to see somebody get their ass kicked. I wasn't going to say who I wanted to see get their ass kicked, but it was just they went on and on and on and on, and I was like Monty Python, get on with it, and you get the match on already, and just it was knockout. We certainly didn't see that coming, but when it comes to best matches of the year, I can't really have a match that ended in that kind of manner as best matches. If you like it as your favorite, congratulations, but you just cannot say it snipped my list.
So can I counter that a little bit? So we watch these matches, and trivia should be a big aspect. I agree with you, and trivia was there during the match. It was. And it was a big aspect of the match. But the Schmoedown, and Christian says it all the time, the Schmoedown is more than just trivia. It's the raw emotion that you feel. It's the storylines. It's how everything happens. That's why I know for a fact I was going to have a weird list, because mine is a lot of what the Schmoedown is, what that kind of core group goes for. Like, but I see it a little different than you. So, but go ahead and rip me a shred, Malcolm.
I want to counter with one thing first. So, because of this was your best match. So, what did this match have that Bateman Oyama, the very next match, didn't have, that didn't make your list?
Bateman Oyama, that was just a trashing. That was literally just a trashing. Mike showed up for this match.
This wasn't?
To me, this wasn't. This it was 10 points, but it was 10 points that was, for me, I don't know, maybe it was a lot more to do with, because we had the buildup of Kevin Smets and Mike Kalinowski since the collision. We've had this buildup, and this was the payoff for that buildup. It was like seeing, seeing the Red Sox win the World Series for the first time after trying so hard. For me, that was a big thing. Like, so just comparing it doesn't necessarily mean like it may have been the best trivia match of all time, because I think the triple overtime match with Rachel and Mike, was incredible, and it's a great trivia match. It is. It's a great trivia match, and it pays off because of their storyline. This storyline has been going since Collision. This storyline finally got paid off. And it got paid off not in just trivia. It got paid off in the raw emotion that was there. Granted, I understand there's there's character, but you could tell a weight had been lifted off Smet's shoulders. Just seeing it on stage. So for me, when I watch something like that, I put that high on my list because I emotionally connect with those people. For me, I love sports. I love that aspect, but I love this aspect because it's more than sports. It's more than just mental sports. It's got a storyline. It's got heart. It's got soul. It's got you care about these characters. And while I like Mike and he's a great character, Kevin Smets kind of just came in with this really great story, and it was like it finally paid off in that whole Civil War kind of fight.
But anyway, I did. This was a fine match. I mean, this is the reason I put the two spectacular matches I did on higher than this. I think is because I thought they were the better two matches of spectacular. Because this one was fun for storyline reasons, like having Chance come out at post match and officially send Ken and Grace packing and all that. But this is just one that I thought was a fine match. And this was just one of those ones that, with an ending in KO, it's spectacular. It's really one of those ones which, well, yeah, there's probably a lot of stuff happening sort of in Mike's head and all that, but it's just one that I didn't connect with a lot. But anyway,
you wanted your hour video. How come you got it?
But anyway, what I did was I took everyone's list and combined them into one list. So our combined list is very interesting.
I can't wait to see this.
Because with the fact that we didn't actually have a lot of commonalities in this, we've actually got a lot of ties in this list. So tied at the 9th spot, we've got Founding Fathers versus Corruption, Bateman versus Guy, and Kevin Smets versus Chandru. Tied at 7th, we've got Shiles versus Critically Acclaimed, and Laura Kelly versus Alex Damon. Tied at number 5, we've got Shazam versus the Looney Bin and Ethan Irwin versus Dan Merle. And I haven't been changing this because I've been looking at something else to find out what the ties are because I didn't actually. But anyway, our number, and yeah, that was the last tie. So because it was so high on Doug's list, at our number 4 combined match is Kalinowski versus Kevin Smets.
It didn't change.
Did not change.
Well, the number did change.
That's true.
At number 3, we've got Kalinowski versus Kevin Smets from Collision.
The right match.
At 2, we've got Shirewalls versus Corruption from the Throwdown. And 1, it was Rachel versus Mike from the Throwdown.
Well done, Malcolm.
But this was a fun list. But yeah, tomorrow, I mean, I'm not sure which order I'm going to air these yet, but I'll do the first one since I already said it's going to be the first one. Tomorrow, the next we've got players happening at some stage. We've got teams, moments, and personalities all coming up within the month. But yeah, so it's going to be a lot of fun. You'll go to see JTH on another one. Doug's going to be on a few of them. We're going to have some other few guests because we've got call to action spread out over a few of them. So I tried to get as much reactors as I could on these. There's a few of them which just either didn't get back to me or just. But anyway, Doug, where can people find you online?
Yeah, find me over here on Take 3. Check out a new show called The League, where it's basically fantasy league stuff going over with the Schmoedown. Also, check out a show called The Manor. It's a roundtable discussion where we talk about movies, directors, genres, and so on. It would used to be called Bloody Manor, but we're switching things over. We're trying to make it more adaptable for other people as well. So people were telling me if it wasn't a horror show, they join and talk about stuff. So let's see how it rolls. Also, check out The Adventures of Transvail, which is a D&D video watch along. You can also get the audio there for that as well on Spotify, Apple Podcast, all that stuff. We will be back after the new year, but this is probably playing after the new year. So check out and see if you can find an episode.
I might even aim for this to air on New Year's or even New Year's Eve. But JDH, where can people find you online?
You can follow me on Twitter at WWEJTH1. You can find me on Facebook, Jeremy Hastings, whoever that guy is. And you can follow me doing my own Schmoedown reactions throughout the year and hopefully throughout this year. I was going to say next year, but it's going to be 2020 when this comes out. So said Malcolm. So let's hope. On my own personal channel, JTH. For JTH. Can't wait to be a 3-time, never nominated for best after show podcast, whatever thing at the Schmoedown Awards. So make sure not to vote for me, boys and girls.
And I mean, we're probably going to become a 3-time podcast awards loser. So I feel your pain. We had the last few years we just lost to the rundown. But I mean, by the time this comes out, the nominations will probably be out. So it'd be ironic if JDH ends up getting nominated. So
thank you for your future site lack of support, everybody.
But you can find me on Take 3 hosting Rankum every Sunday. But by the time this goes up, we've either had our best moves of 2019 or it's soon to happen. You can also find me on hosting Full Metal Random on Full Metal. You can also find me all over the place hosting everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Until next time, take care.